Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we got our next Bad Batch discussion. We apologize for it getting out a little bit late. We were on vacation, and we are now here to deliver the goods, which is kind of a little wink to this episode. So we are on Bad Batch episode 13, and it is called Infested for good reason. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about the episode, what happened, and then give you our favorite parts. So, our episode, we are still on the planet where Cid is. The Bad Batch is returning, and they're hoping for a better payment because of what they had to go through for whatever mission they just completed. And when they arrive, they notice that Cid is missing. There is somebody else called Roland that is sitting in her seat, and he has basically said, she's gone, she's out. And the Bad Batch strolls outside and happens to bump into her at her ship. She brings him in and says, oh, Roland is trying to take over a couple of the parts around where they are. And one way to mess with him is to get rid of the products that he has to deliver to the Pikes, which are people you don't want to mess with. And so Cid creates this little plan with the Bad Batch to be able to take the spice away from Roland. That way he doesn't have the goods to deliver to the Pikes.
The Bad Batch were going through cave number 1 to go into a back alley into the office, Cid's office, which is where the spice was. That's while the distraction was going on. But then cavern number 2 was where they were dropping the spice so that it wouldn't be found.
Roland's people go after them in the mines, and they're not very successful. But the Bad Batch take care of them. And then meanwhile, the way that they were able to actually get into this place without him knowing about it was 2 of Cid's accomplices were distracting Roland's pet, which was this little pet that kind of resembled a dog, so to speak. It acted much like a dog, and it distracted him just long enough for them to take care of the spice. They took the spice from his office and then dumped it. So then the Pikes show up, and then they want to obviously collect their spice, but Roland doesn't have it. And the script kind of flips on the Bad Batch because the Pikes say, well, you know where it is, you go get it. And until you do, we're going to basically keep Omega hostage. Somehow they agree to that because Cid warns the Bad Batch that they don't want to get involved with the Pikes. And so the Bad Batch decide to go back to that little cavern area and get it back. Cid and Wrecker go down to retrieve it, and they have a little bit of an issue with all the infestation flying around them. But to deal with that, Tech drops a wouldn't call it a bomb. It was like a flash bomb, so to speak. That way it would blind the creatures that were around them, and then they safely got the spice out of there. They regrouped with the Pikes and returned the spice. They let Omega go, but they also wanted to deliver a message to Roland, like to not mess with them, kind of a thing. And it appeared they were about to kill him with a knife. And Omega was trying to stop them, saying, "You made a mistake, don't do it." And instead of killing him, they actually took one of his horns off of his head. I thought he was going to kill him, so I was like, whoa, another situation where I didn't expect something to happen. I didn't expect the horn thing either, so that's kind of another cool thing that was unexpected. But that about wraps up the episode. Anything else to add, Sarah? I think that was about it.
I think that about wraps it up.
So that ends episode 13. We are heading towards episode 14 next week, or this week, I should say. And I'm very curious to see where it goes. Hopefully we get some sort of overarching situation for the rest of the season. Moving on to our favorite parts. Sarah, what was your favorite part?
All right, I'm gonna pick something cute for my favorite part this week, which was the little pet and how they convinced the pet to go outside by like casually dropping these popcorn-looking food for it to follow like a trail of breadcrumbs, and it just well kept on going along and eat one, and then it'd go find the next one, eat that one, and it just looked so cute.
My favorite part was, I think, seeing the Pikes again. I remember seeing them in another animated show. I feel like it was the Clone Wars, but it's a group that you hear about, but you don't see them very often. So I thought it was cool to bring them back into it. And another thing is, Star Wars, they talk about spice a lot. Poe Dameron was a spice runner. I want to say Han Solo probably had something to do with it at one point. So it's interesting to, see that dynamic in Star Wars once
Yeah.
again.
Nice.
But yeah, that wraps up the episode. That wraps up our favorite parts. So if you haven't already, please turn on your notifications. That way you are notified when the next Bad Batch discussion drops. We will be having guest appearance somewhere near here in the future. We will have Tony back for the finale. So stay tuned for some more of Tony. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop us a like if you like this video, and drop us a comment letting us know your favorite part from this episode. And if you haven't seen it already, get out there and check it out. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.